Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Trade the Chain. It is Friday, April 23rd. Happy Friday, folks. I just knocked everything off my desk getting my mic, but that's okay.
It's been a long week, Alex. It's been a long week, okay?
It has
Knocking stuff down is understandable.
It's, as you can see, it's just Monty and I. So this whole thing is going to be a train wreck. I was trying to be professional about it too. Listen, Ryan, our best hair in crypto and metal straw drinking champion, is off today, along with CJ, who's feeling a little bit like the crypto markets and under the weather. We have a good show for you today, though. Monty and I are going to try to make up for their absences. We're going to hit the big boards. We're going to do a little TA analysis on VGX and STMX, and then I'm going to go over two bridging exchanges, which I really am beginning to enjoy a lot. That's 0.EXCHANGE and Occam. But before we do, let's get the legal out of the way. I don't know how Ryan actually does this. So, all right. So people, listen, you can't listen to us about anything. Nothing that Trade the Chain people or Market Rebellion folks do in this show is to be considered financial advice, ever.
Especially today. It's just me and Alex. So
Oh, yes.
take this for what it's worth. Okay.
Yeah, just read the disclaimer. All right. Trade the Chain is brought to you by Trade the Chain. Wait, I got my own screens, Monty. I'm going to try this on my own. Hang on. Let me see. Trade the Chain is brought to you by Trade the Chain. If you want to trade like a crypto insider, this is the place for you. AI-driven sentiment indicators and actionable alerts to help you beat the market. Here's what the coin screener page looks like, running in real time, 24 hours a day. You get to check out the daily, the midterm, long-term, all the sentiment stuff. That's good. Ryan is so much better than me at this. We have a Trade the Chain Academy, which has tutorial videos and different strategy videos to help you learn and accelerate. That being said, we also have a community 24/7 across 23 time zones with all the members and our team in there helping you out. So if you like that, give it a try. On to Market Rebellion. The Market Rebels, Monty, CJ, and the rest of the rebels over there. Market Rebellion is your one-stop shop for crypto trading. It has all the charting, the community. It has, one of the best things I like about Market Rebellion, I can't even click on this because that's a paywall right there. I don't want to, ruin the product and show people. This is your portfolio. This is the macro portfolio the Market Rebels have, which show their entry points, their exit points. They have a whole educational curriculum that they've been progressively rolling out, which is really cool. So definitely check them out. It's only $1 to start, and it gives you everything you need. You often see these colorful charts on our program. So marketrebellion.com/crypto. Start for $1.
Well done, Alex. Well done.
That was horrible. I can't wait to get the other two back here. All right, folks, let's go. Monty, on to the big boards, my man.
Yes, let's do it. Like you said, Alex, it's been, a bit of a rough week for Bitcoin. And when we get this sort of volatility, what I like to do is, take a step back and look at the weekly chart. A lot of people have been asking, how far can this thing go down? And we've already been finding a little bit of support, which has been encouraging. But one thing I'm watching closely is this simple moving average right here. This is a 20-period moving average. And historically, we've seen it act as strong support. And really, because we went up so fast, we didn't have all that much time to form too many levels. One significant level is right around here at 45K. We have another significant level here at 37K. But I think it's encouraging, that this 20-period moving average is kind of catching up to our current price action. And, despite the relentless price action to the bearish side, it looks like people kind of relentlessly bought up this dip around here at 47K. So although we did go below our projected level of 51K, it wasn't really for that long. And, it was really encouraging to see traders kind of buy the dip. One thing that's worth mentioning too is Bitcoin dominance. We mentioned how fast this was slipping, but because of this just, insane volatility to the bearish side, I think we've seen this kind of, slow down just a little bit. We've seen people move into Bitcoin more dominantly during times of, bear markets. And I think because there was such reluctancy with the whole, proposed tax hike, as well as some other things that played out earlier in the week, we didn't really see a continuation of this pattern. So this doesn't really change too much in my macro opinion. People are really caught up in the current price action, but I think if you take a step back and look at some of the factors that have driven price down, you had a lot of people stepping in with leverage longs kind of irresponsibly. There was a lot of mania. And in the market cycle, this is just a natural progression that happens. I think it's going to take a little bit of time before a lot of these retail traders that got burned are, willing to re-enter the market. So that might leave us a little bit range bound for a little bit. But like I said, it's encouraging that this moving average is catching up. And I think, the fact that we're already kind of finding some support is encouraging. So we may be in for a bit of range bound trading, but, overall, it was good to see that whales and some traders in general were willing to buy this dip.
Yeah, listen, I was one of those nervous people along with the rest of the crowd. So, one of the things, we had a bunch of expiries happen yesterday. First of all, I blame it all on the Coinbase IPO or direct listing. Okay, ever since that happened, things just haven't been right. And just so you know, that stock's down to $294 or whatever. But in all seriousness, we had we had those expiries. We had Biden mentioned his proposed capital gains tax plan, which just crushed the equity markets. But to your point, today we've been seeing Bitcoin and the market as a whole really fight back and gain that support. I honestly thought once we went below about 49.5, 49.4, we were going to be in trouble, but no, you guys again were spot on with that, that 48 resistance down there, and it did turn around. So cool stuff.
Yeah, Alex, and I mean, I think you jokingly blame Coinbase, but I think that was a good example of kind of the over exuberance of the market. It was it was kind of an indication of a psychological top. We had Coinbase commercials all over CNBC. We had traders buying into Bitcoin that weren't trading Bitcoin at all a week ago. And, I think a lot of that is kind of what created that overinflation in the market. And it's why we're seeing a lot of pain right now. But ultimately, like I said, I don't think this changes too much in the macro cycle for Bitcoin. We're still progressing along the stock to flow model. And, I still think we're early on in this overall market cycle.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all on that. No, I'm standing by that as well. To your point with Coinbase, then, I really just have to mention it one more time. I mean, between Doge falling off and whatever this crap SafeMoon thing that went on, you had a huge vacuum of new entrants into the market getting blown out and people being like, forget this. So there was a huge amount of contribution to this. Let's move on to some other stuff. I'm getting depressed. Let's hit up STMX. Do you have the Stormx chart? Because STMX has actually come up for the day, one of those resilient tickers from the drop. So I'd like to kind of cover that. And plus, if anybody missed it, Simon Yu, the founder and CEO of Stormx, tweeted out to me that he got me some baseball caps. So I'm kind of excited.
Yes, that's big news, Alex, because that's like taking out a billboard with prime real estate. You're always wearing a hat here. So good PR move there by Simon. But yeah, Stormx is an interesting one because the technicals here are pretty interesting. One thing that I always find encouraging is as a bullish engulfing candle, which is what we're seeing here at the bottom of this trend. But a lot of the alts were hit really hard by this capital gains news, and Stormx was one of them. But I think what's interesting to note, and this is something I saw Simon point out on Twitter as well, is, I think even if we're in a sideways market here for a little bit, Stormx's, fundamental value, I think, is positioned well to even perform well during a sideways market. Their whole business model of cash back or crypto back, it promotes being frugal. It promotes people that are looking to save money. using the app. So I think that is a promising aspect, the way their business models align. But also, one thing I've been seeing a lot of people talk about on Twitter is, um, you know, this whole crypto tax ban has had people scrambling for, ways to avoid paying that massive capital gains tax. And one thing that I've been seeing a lot about is that, rewards and rebates actually don't count as income. They're just a discount on the purchase. So it's not technically a taxable event. So, as opposed to mining or, getting your tokens in an airdrop, getting them through a rebate is a different type of event in terms of income. So it's not technically taxable. And although that may not be that important in the long term, because when you do transfer it back to fiat, it does become taxable. I think just in general, having somewhat of an exposure to a space that is somewhat of a tax, I want to say haven, but not really, but it's less exposed to the incredible taxes that some of the other sectors are potentially going to be exposed to. I think that gives Stormx a bit of an advantage. But back to the technicals here, this thing is on sale. There's no other way to say it. I know a lot of people that up here, were very upset that they missed the bus down here. And we saw people relentlessly buy this dip when we first dipped from 9 cents back into the 7 cents range. And then we hit this all-time high and we really broke down here before bouncing back up to 7. But now we're just kind of slipping and not really finding any support. But today might be the day that we found it. It's looking, like I mentioned, this bullish engulfing candle is encouraging. One thing that I'm looking for to increase my position, because full disclosure, I do still hold Stormx. I took a little bit of profit around over here, but I'm still holding a pretty good amount in Voyager. And one thing for me that would be validation to enter a long trade, and this is a trading strategy that is very simple, but I've applied successfully in many previous trades, is just wait for a cross above this 20 period moving average on much in the 4-hour chart right now. So, we're getting a little bit of bullish price action in the last 12 hours. And I think a good indication that we might, go up and retest these levels of 6 cents and potentially even 7 cents is a break above this level right here. So I'm watching this level of roughly 0.046. It'll probably be roughly 0.045 when the candles are getting ready to retest it. And, this might be a good indication that the bulls have, gained a little bit of control here and that the bottom might be in. So yeah, just watch for just the simple things, because that's where we're at with this. It's sold off 48% from its all-time high. And, getting back to the simple technical aspects of trading are going to be what's most important for Stormx right now.
Yeah, and listen, 48% off its all-time high, and that was 10x above when we first started covering it or more. So it has been a big winner. Full disclosure, I own Stormx crap, probably too much, but I love it, and I'll probably be re-upping that position as well. I did re-up it 2 weeks ago, so I do own a little bit above the mark that we're at right now, but I own the majority of it when we first started covering it. I like Stormx. I like what they're doing. I think they have legs to grow. And I know people like to hear what I think or us think about price. And, my short-term view is still 25 cents on Stormx, and my mid to long-term view is $1. I think that much of the company and the programs and partners they have in place. So yeah, and it's easily to buy on Voyager app. All right, let's move on actually to Voyager and see the VGX token. One of the things that I just want to point out is that a while back, Monty, you and CJ, when we were doing analysis on VGX, you specifically measured that call that we were going to touch the twos. This is what's going to happen if we hit this. If we hit this, we're going to touch the twos, and we did touch the twos. So let's talk about this and where this is heading in the near term.
Yeah. So I appreciate the recognition of my call, but that was just a hypothetical scenario I was laying out. And full disclosure, I do still hold VGX. And yeah, this is another one that it's similar to Stormx in the sense that, it is one of those assets that moved up very quickly, but has been in, somewhat of a period of consolidation. It differs from Stormx in the sense that it's been in consolidation for almost 2 months now, right? We had our top of $7 and almost 30 cents all the way back around February 24th, 25th. So yeah, we're approaching 2 months of, somewhat bearish to neutral price action. But interestingly enough, we're getting a similar technical outlook here on the 4-hour chart for Voyager. We're getting this bullish engulfing candle, a very encouraging sign for me. Also, this level of, just below $3 is very important for Voyager. It's in a very similar percentage loss compared to Stormx from its all-time high. And we've talked about, the Voyager loyalty program and the potential utility that this token is gaining going forward. And, I think this is just one that has just been suffering a bit because of the fact that, it went up so fast. The Voyager exchange onboarded so many new customers and is just experiencing a bit of growing pains. But if you take a step back and look at this thing on the weekly chart, like I did for Bitcoin, I think we're putting in a bottom here, because similarly to Bitcoin, like I mentioned, this 20-period moving average is an important indication of support on the weekly chart. And this is a critical time for Voyager, because right now we're testing that level. So I think this weekend is very critical for Voyager. One last technical thing I'll point out is the daily chart. I think this is important. We are bottoming on a TD sequential 9 here, and we put in this potential support at $2.55. So, like I said with Stormx, watch this 20-period moving average. I think, I don't want to increase my position yet, because I do think that there's a potential we could kind of remain range bound for a little bit. But that being said, I still very much believe in the long-term value proposition of VGX. I think, this thing technically looks like it's putting in a bottom here, but I would just wait for confirmation like we're seeing on the 4-hour chart. So, if we can get something similar on the daily chart, if tomorrow's daily candle looks similar to, this 4-hour candle, and we get an engulfing formation, that might be indication that, it would be a good time to maybe increase your position, or if you don't have exposure to this asset at all and you miss this first uptrend, to maybe go ahead and get some exposure to the upside to VGX, because, I think technically speaking, the bearish neutral consolidation is looking like it may be coming to an end here. So those are my thoughts on VGX.
Very good ones too. One of the things that I guess my worry about going into this weekend is let's take it from the layman's view. We have these psychological Sunday, Monday spill-offs in the market, and I feel like from whatever happened going into last weekend, we haven't rebounded at all in order to give any more. So I feel like if this weekend is going to be critical and nothing changes in the habitual cycle of it, we're going to give more. You know what I'm saying? Like if we had 5 pieces of gum and we give away 3 every Sunday, Monday, but we get the 3 back during the week. Well, we didn't get any gum back this week, So you're about to take my last 2 pieces, man.
Wow, you could start a crypto for kids channel with an analogy like that.
I like that, crypto for kids.
But no, I completely agree with you, Alex. Like, it doesn't seem like someone. I mentioned in chat, I expect the whales to be, just relentlessly eating up this dip. But someone in chat said, don't you think the whales are already full from last week? And, I think that's a good point. Like the whales, they did a lot of dip buying last week, like we pointed out. And, I think because of that, we're not going to necessarily get springboarded this weekend, like we can typically see on the weekend volatility. So yeah, I agree with you. If we do see any significant action, it may be to the downside. So, I think that's why I think we're going to be a little bit range bound, a little bit reluctant to enter any long trades. And I think just watch for, bullish engulfing candles, watch for breaks to the upside above simple moving averages, things like that, confirmation that we're not going to continue sliding to the downside.
Yeah. I definitely aren't the whales full from last week. We could start a Sesame Street channel on crypto. That would be phenomenal. Yeah, so and I still, going back to price, I still believe in this company. Listen, are they working through a lot of things right now? Yeah, they're working through a lot of things. I wanted to cover VGX. I know the people are going to put in the comments like, you got to give us an update. I've been getting hundreds of messages saying you got to put out a video. I don't work for Voyager. Okay, we have had Steve live stream on this show like 4 times over the last 2 months. Man, I can't do anything more. Just last week we had him. Go back to, it's at that video's at the top of the video. Look at it. If you're not happy with that, go back to the other. I don't know what to tell you.
I think based on the comments, what the people want is they want us to take Ryan out as a regular news segment and just put Steve in as a regular guest.
Listen, I believe in the guy in the team, 100%. I really do. Listen, they're working through some stuff. There's every project's gone through phases of working through stuff. I don't have any answers for anything. I'm not going to bring Steve on here every day to give answers. He needs to actually work the work. But what I will say is that I am, I gave that 30 to 50 dollar kind of range for end of year, for the end of the bull cycle. I still believe, I think it's probably going to be between 35 and 45. I'm holding to that still. So and I do listen. I think once that the swap happens, the VLP is initiated, we're going to be $10 range bound. I think once New York and Canada are approved, we're going to be 20 to 25, and once the Euro acquisition is complete with moving the app over there and expanding, that's when we're going to go into 35 to, or the 35 to 45 range. So I'm very confident in that. All right, so that being said, we can't solve your Voyager problems. Please stop calling my house. Moving on, I am going to, okay, so 2 things I want to talk about that are new, so people get some new content. One is, you've already heard me talk about 0.EXCHANGE. Here is the website. It's a 0.EXCHANGE. Their ticker is 0, ZERO. I actually heard some people after, we're buying the wrong token, which is ZER. It's 0, the word. So what this is, and why I'm fascinated, and I will say, I have had a call with the team and have discussed the platform. I actually am bringing them on at the end of the month. They'll be on the show with us, Monty. Because the first week of May, they have version 2 of the platform launching. What's compelling about this is that is literally this multi-chain bridging. Okay, and with 0.EXCHANGE, they have Avalanche, they have BSC, and they have Ethereum. So you're able to circumvent the gas fees. They were the first multi-dex platform to be able to do this. We're not talking a dex aggregator, which brings in all the order books from dexes so you get the best one. We're talking about multi-chain, which is huge. Everybody hates the Ethereum gas. I'm really falling in love with this project and what they're doing, and have spoken to the team, like I said. I am speaking to them privately again, and then bringing them on publicly at the end of the month for the version 2 rollout. Here is what the chart looks like. They are relatively new. We're about 23 cents, 40 right now, across 4.7 million in trading volume. I really believe that this is a short-term dollar play, especially with version 2 coming out. I think we're going to see $1 with version 2. I'm looking upwards of anywhere from 350 to 450 midterm going into the summer, because I think this takes hold and it starts taking some market share away from people who want the opportunity to go cross-chain. I think their next rollout is actually the Polkadot chain as well. So they're adding to it. That's what these darkened symbols are. So really super excited. But Monty, give me your thoughts about, if any, about the about using multi-chain DEX rather than being, handcuffed to Ethereum.
Yeah, this is a big deal, Alex. And what I like about you is, you're quite literally a man of many hats with your crypto AM Voyager hat, your now Stormx hat, but also, you got that institutional fund experience. And now, with your whole trade the chain endeavors, I feel like you're just really diving in and learning so much about these decentralized exchanges. And it's been great. It's been a great learning experience for us all over here on the show. But you know, I think this is big. This, like you mentioned, the market cap is still so small here, 66 million. Think about things like, Uni, Sushi, or even Kyber, that have market caps in the billions. And, yeah, the market cap 66 million. Yeah. So, I think there's tremendous potential to grow, especially considering, like you said, it opens up, so much more freedom to not be limited to that Ethereum blockchain, because like you said, the gas fees can just be tremendously crippling. So for me, it's always encouraging to see these sort of DEX solutions pop up that, just make it easier to provide avenues to all sorts of different projects for regular retail traders. And yeah, I think 0x fits the bill of, serving that purpose well. So definitely going to be watching this closely. And I haven't invested in this yet, but, definitely on my radar.
Yeah, and also got a lot of questions where to buy it. Scroll down here on CoinGecko. Right now, you get on Uniswap. You can get it at 0.EXCHANGE and Bithumb Global. I mean, one of the things about this that also makes me bullish when getting into cool sounding products and projects young is that you have that chance for the listing, and the listings always bring that great price action. So I'm confident on Zero getting listed on exchanges and going through that rigmarole soon. So I'm happy to be in here at an early price. Another one is Occam. So Occam Razer is this. Oh man, there's so many of these cool things happening. So Occam Razer is the first ever Ethereum to Cardano liquidity bridge. And this is cool in the fact that, well, one, Cardano, right? I mean, how many people have been waiting for Cardano to be utilized? And so much like 0.EXCHANGE, this is now a bridge, and they're going to be a launch pad for Cardano blockchain projects. And my thought process is there's a lot of ADA holders who've been getting range bound trading for a long time with a few pumps here, a few pumps there, everywhere a few pumps, but really not going anywhere. I worked that to a song. You like that? And so what really gets me excited about this is this may now be where Cardano starts to spread its wings, where you have projects saying, okay, now there's a launch pad for the Cardano blockchain. I would like to, we've been wanting to build on it. We're going to launch our project on it. And now we're going to start attracting users over to it, and maybe sharing liquidity pools, maybe doing some bridging with some other chains in order to gather that momentum. But that's why I'm excited about Occam Razer. And listen, it's brand new out of the gates here, and we're already $10 price on it. It has a low market cap, 38 million, so it's a young project, but it really is talking a big game. And I like these people coming out like 0.EXCHANGE and Occam and taking that step towards not just being saturated in a market. Who needs another exchange? Who needs another this or another that? But being really differentiated. And you get this apparently Uniswap, Sushi Swap, and I don't even know what Bilaxi is, but again, you have a young project trying to do something genius. and really being a differentiated project in the space. And again, not listed yet, right? Listing, once that listing starts coming, that price, you're just like, it's going to take off. That's where my arbitrage mind is, as an investor. So what are your thoughts now on a Cardano launchpad?
Yeah, besides the speculation you can make on Occam, right? I think this is huge for Cardano. I mean, we've seen just in the last, we talked yesterday or 2 days ago about the massive influx of DeFi speculation. And, I think this will allow for a bit of a liquidity bridge between the two. I think, there hasn't really been anything yet built on the Cardano blockchain, but this could, this could provide some much needed liquidity and exposure for Cardano projects that are looking to step into the DeFi space, because I think there is actual tremendous potential there for some really innovative DeFi projects to be built on the Cardano blockchain. So anything that I think could potentially capitalize on that relationship between Cardano and ETH and Cardano's potential to be a new blockchain for people to build DeFi applications, I think is a good place. So this is interesting. And, I think it's kind of been a long time coming for some sort of liquidity bridge between Ethereum and Cardano due to their many similarities. But, this is just encouraging for the future of the two blockchains and their relationship, definitely.
Yeah, I agree, and thank you for putting in that sentiment. Also, what's funny is when I started digging into Occam and going through their white paper, going through what they proposed, reading in their press and stuff like that, I came across, I realized I actually know the president. Mark Berger out of Switzerland. I know him, well, and I called him up today. I was like, dude, I've been following your project for the last 2 weeks now. This is cool. I guess you've been too busy to tell me this was happening. So actually, I'm going to have Mark on the show. I might do a special live stream this weekend, depending on his schedule. But yeah, it's cool. So plan on seeing 0.EXCHANGE and Occam's principal teams on here to learn more about them. But this is the stuff that's exciting.
Yes, lots of cool innovation happening, even if the price action isn't all that exciting right now.
Well, I mean, listen, we got to talk about other things than just, it's another day in the markets, it's going down. Come on, let's look on the bright side of things. We just took a rest stop. You know how tiring a bull run is, Monty? It's tiring, right?
Yes, I've been up. I never sleep.
Some people are like, wait, I can't wait for this bull run to end so I can take a vacation. No, I don't think anybody's thinking that. Very cool. All right. Any comments, parting words?
No, just good job. We got through it without Ryan and CJ. This was a bit of a rough episode, but we made it through.
It did get off to a rough start, but yeah, we did. And thank you guys for putting up with only half the team today. Don't forget, go visit marketrebellion.com/crypto and tradethechain.com for your sentiment insights. Also, June, first week of June is, I think it's 4th and 5th or 4th and 5th is the Bitcoin 2021 conference. I know that Market Rebellion will be down there along with us, and so we'll be doing various filming and hanging out with all our friends in the crypto space. So definitely invite everybody to make plans for that. It's going to be really the first in-person thing we've gone to since COVID lockdown, and Ryan finally got that discount code that we kept mentioning for weeks, and people kept texting us going, dude, where's the discount code? We finally got it. It's going in the description. So come meet Monty in person. All right.
Yes, it's quite a sight. Yeah.
All right, folks. Thank you very much. Hang on to your handlebars, and have a great weekend. It's Friday. Have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday for the next episode of Trade the Chain. Take it easy, folks.